Hello out there, this is Wakeangel2K1 coming at you with another toy review. With the release of Jurassic World, we're still going through a bit of dinosaur fever, as you do every few years in toy stores. And last night, whilst browsing YouTube, I saw the new Mysterious Mr. Enter video. It was his admirable animations on on Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, a cartoon from 1993 that had a subtle environmentalist message. Just like the Saturday morning Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon. It seems that 1993 was a good year for cartoons that had an environmental message that wasn't beat over your heads like it was in Captain Planet. But I digress. This is a Deinonychus. This was gifted to me by a relative of mine when I was really young. I think I was maybe 4 or 5 years old. So hey, Javi, if you're seeing this, check it out. 25 years later, and that dinosaur toy you gave me is still here. So this is what we believe the Deinonychus looked like in 1987. If yeah, let's zoom in on that underbelly. Can you even... There we go. Come on. Come on, you had it. You had it. Do the thing. There it is. See? Copyright 1987. Tycho. There. Yeah, so this is a toy from 1987. Which is really cool because in 1987, most dinosaur toys looked like upright lizards with dragging tails and stuff. So to get a realistic depiction of a dinosaur from that era was simply amazing. So why do I bring up Cadillacs and dinosaurs when I'm talking about a toy that came from 1987 when that cartoon came out in 1993? That, my friends, is because this is the Deinonychus toy that was released in the Dino Riders toy line. And here is one of the Dino Riders. This is Rulon Rasp, some kind of snake-headed thing. Yeah, Rulon Rasp is a pretty basic figure. Although for 1987, the articulation is not bad. He has independently swiveling hips, 90-degree knee bends, swivel shoulders, and a swivel head. Overall, not bad for a figure this size from that year. If you go into any Toys R Us now, you can find plenty of dinosaur toys in the Imaginext section that kind of carry on the spirit of this, except that the dinosaur toys they make are less realistic. So yeah, Rulon Rasp. But when this toy was new, he would have had like a saddle thing and armor that the guy could ride on. Let's show a picture of that. Here is the Deinonychus as it would have been all kitted up with its little armor. And this rider has a bug head. So, yeah, that's the Dino Rider. From what I understand, the cartoon was not very well received. The Cadillacs and Dinosaurs cartoon was really good, but Dino Riders, that was just a thing made to push this particular toy line. And the fact that the dinosaur toys actually held up better than the gimmick is actually quite telling of everything's quality. Oh well, that's the late 80s for you. And here is the Cadillacs and Dinosaurs version. As you can see, the dinosaur mold is exactly the same, and the only difference is that the accessories changed. Instead of a saddle for riding, it obviously looks more like a bondage gear. That came out wrong. Like the dinosaur was captured by poachers, and that was the stuff that they used to bind them. You know, probably for use as attack dogs or beasts of burden. You know, that kind of thing. You know, because of the whole environmentalist thing. You got poachers who were hunting dinosaurs. Okay, so you see that there's a little blurb there that says Dino kicking action.
Let's take a look at that.
So there was a gimmick to this toy. There's a button here on his back. When you push it, it makes his legs kick. The thing is, this toy is, well, it's 20, what, 20, let's see, I'm 29, this thing is 2 years younger than me. This is a 27-year-old toy. The mechanisms inside of its body have long since rusted up, and they simply don't really work anymore. You know, it's just rusted out. See, I can kind of almost get it to work, but yeah, it's not going to happen anymore. And aside from that, the arms are on little swivels. Yeah. So yeah, like nowadays we know that the Deinonychus most likely had feathers. And this thing obviously has scales, but it's, you know, it's fine. We didn't really know, the public really didn't know much about the avian connection in 1987, and this is actually considered a museum quality piece back then. In fact, this toy line was so independently popular that, okay, here's the connection. In addition to that, these were even released in, like, museum gift shops and without any accessories, just as realistic representations of dinosaur toys. A lot more realistic than you can get in most toy stores. Speaking of which,
here is a look at the Dino Riders toy line, and I totally have that motorized Triceratops in the upper left corner. It's just buried in my closet somewhere. And you can see what these dudes look like. As you can see, I don't know, you probably have to full screen to see the text, but there's always a picture of the dinosaur without the armor that says museum quality piece or something to that effect. Even I can't read it because it's on the preview screen, but I digress. As you can see, they all have armor, and the dinosaurs are available separately. This is the Dino Riders toy line. Take a look at the Cadillacs and Dinosaurs toy line. Of course, there's more human figures in here, not those little tiny riders, because, you know, Deinonychus was only about man-size, so I guess that scales a little better. And, of course, there's a big freaking car. Like, how the heck did this show only have 13 episodes? It's about awesome-looking muscle cars and dinosaurs. Like, what part of that sounds like something that kids don't want? I mean, this should have been as successful as freaking Transformers. Oh, well, I guess there's no accounting for taste. Maybe they just didn't advertise the show well enough. I mean, 1993, that's about when I would have been shopping for toys, and I don't ever remember seeing these things. Oh, well.
I'm sure that you saw, when I showed those other pictures, that there was more than just this in the series. I also have the Pterodactyl, and this one's gimmick still works. Pushing the button on the back makes the wings flap. Now this one has a story. I got this particular guy from Caldor. Remember Caldor, fellow almost 30-somethings? Yep. They were selling these around the time that the first Jurassic Park movie came out, and there was a big boom in the popularity of dinosaur toys. So, in addition to all the new Jurassic Park figures that were coming out, they also re-released these molds. Although, if you check out the copyright date on this one, which is on the wing, you'll see that this toy was actually made in 1990. I remember distinctly finding it on the shelf at just like this when the Jurassic Park movie came out. So that means that they probably released one of the museum gift shop molds to the general public, because the Pterodactyl, if it had been released as a Dino Rider or Cadillacs and Dinosaurs release, would have looked like this.
Ha ha! Yep, and look at that, it's Rulon Rasp again. Yeah, I actually kind of regret not having these accessories, because that is hilarious. Oh well, like I said, the dinosaurs are cool enough to stand up on their own because of the supposed realism, at least what we thought of at the time. And you know what, even now, they're still, like, I'd say the 85th percentile at least for dinosaur realism. I mean, we only are just starting to get some dinosaur toys from Slice that have a little bit of feathering on them. So, you know, like, as far as dinosaur toys go, at least these have the gross anatomy, right?
Yes. One last thing about the pterodactyl. He has a head swivel and a little hinge that allows his mouth to open and close. And I really like the way the eyes on these guys are done. Let's zoom into those cute little faces. Yeah, I mean, like, the eye isn't just painted on. It's like a bead with a real-looking pupil. And that's not a white dot painted there. That's actual shine. So yeah, that's actually really cool, the way that they gave these guys realistic-looking eyes. It adds just that little bit more of depth. Alright, so for the record, one final science fact. Pterodactyls are not technically dinosaurs. They are flying reptiles that lived alongside the dinosaurs but were not directly related to them. And the Deinonychus is actually... in the first Jurassic Park movie, we were introduced to the velociraptors, which were distant cousins of the Deinonychus, and they were big. They were as tall as people. Real-life velociraptors were actually roughly the size of a large turkey. Don't get me wrong, that's still a pack-hunting predator roughly the size of a coyote that could really do some serious damage to you, especially if they were hunting in packs. But the Deinonychus actually was that big. I guess they just figured that Velociraptor rolled off the tongue a little bit easier than Deinonychus. Also because Deinonychus is kind of a spelling demon, it's not really as phonetic as Velociraptor. Although, it was funny, like, I believe it was on the order of months after the movie came out that they actually discovered another raptor species in Utah, which they called Utah Raptor, that actually was the size of the velociraptors from Jurassic Park. That was fun. But yeah, I just decided to take a quick little trip down memory lane and cash in a little bit on the current dinosaur craze. This isn't the last time we're going to see dinosaur toys, though. Stay tuned for my next review. Until then, this is Wakeangel2K1 signing off.